For centuries, we've all been told a story, a really romantic myth about how great ideas are born. Well, today we're going to tear that myth down, and in its place, we're going to build something way more powerful, a factory for insight. So let's get into it. This right here, this is the central idea we really have to get our heads around. We've been taught to just wait around for some lightning bolt of inspiration, right? But the real history of innovation, it tells a totally different story. The truth is, creativity has always been a systematic process. It's a kind of manufacturing. The story we tell ourselves is always about the lonely genius, isolated, waiting for that one big spark. Think Newton under the apple tree. It's a great story, for sure, but it's also incredibly misleading. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the myth we all know, the lone genius waiting for that divine spark. But the truth, over on the right, is what I call idea stacking. It's all about systematically combining concepts that already exist. I mean, think about the great Renaissance polymaths, someone like Da Vinci. They stacked biology and art, engineering and anatomy, because back then, they didn't even know they were supposed to be separate fields. It was all just raw material for manufacturing insight. Okay, so if creativity is a process, then the next logical question has to be, can we build a machine to automate it? Well, for the better part of a century, the answer was this really frustrating no. We were trying to build this bridge to mechanization, but for a long time, that bridge was broken. Let's just walk through this timeline, because it tells the whole story. Back in 1939, James Webb Young gave us the blueprint, this mental assembly line for ideas. But the machinery, our own brains, that was the bottleneck. We just couldn't hold enough raw material in our heads at once. Then, jump to 1945, Vannevar Bush dreams up the Memex, a machine that could build these associative trails between ideas. He basically saw the software, but the hardware just wasn't there. And then, fast forward to 2010, the tech finally arrives. We get tools like Evernote and Notion, and we start building these massive digital brains. But you know what happened? We became hoarders. We had a giant warehouse full of information, but no assembly line. And this, right here, this was the missing piece. Mastication. It was actually the second step in Young's original method. We got so good at collecting information that we completely forgot the most crucial part, to actually chew on it, to digest it, to find all those hidden connections. Our digital warehouses were overflowing, but our assembly lines were dead silent. But that 80-year dream, that broken bridge, it's finally being completed. Right now, we are living through the industrial revolution for insight. This is the moment that fulfills what all those visionaries of the past were hoping for. This is the breakthrough. 10 million tokens. NotebookLM, powered by Gemini 1.5 Pro's massive context window. It just removes that biological ceiling that has limited us for all of human history. The machine can now hold and, more importantly, masticate millions of pieces of information at once. It can hold a paper on beehive architecture and a guide on city planning and a kind of suspended animation, just waiting for the command to collide. And this slide really captures the huge paradigm shift we're all living through. We are evolving from the era of the librarian, where we were just focused on storage, to the era of the creativity factory. Our job isn't just to collect information anymore. Now it's to actively synthesize it and manufacture new insights from all that raw material. Okay, so we have the factory. Now, how do we operate the machinery? This is going to require a new kind of workflow, something we can call the fluid assembly line. Let's walk the assembly line. Station 1 is the sonic stress test. You turn your text notes into an audio overview. You're listening for the narrative rhythm. If it sounds clunky or flat, the idea is missing friction. Next, you move to the structural blueprint. You ask the chat to generate a mind map. Here, you're looking for the edges, the places where concepts can connect. If it can't be mapped, it's not really an idea yet. And finally, the interrogation. You use the quiz feature on hard mode to really stress test your own creation. See, by forcing the idea through these different states, text, audio, visual, logic, you break its rigidity and you forge a much stronger synthesis. But here's a really critical point. The technology gives you the labor, but a factory without a foreman, it just produces junk. And in this new world, you are that foreman. Your single most important job is quality control. This is your guiding principle. It's the Socratic decree for the modern age. The quality of your output is directly tied to the quality of your questions. You're not just a user anymore. You are the master of the process. The final rule for quality control is to never ever ship an idea until it has survived the elenchus, a rigorous cross-examination. You have to instruct the AI to act as a skeptic, not a sycophant. Use it to find the contradictions, the tensions, and the gaps in your own thinking. That is how you manufacture durable insight. So, we've gone on this whole journey from a romantic myth to a broken dream, and now, finally, to an industrial revolution. And what this all represents is a fundamental shift in our identity as thinkers. And this right here is the transformation we're talking about. For 80 years, we were basically laborers, just struggling to hold two complex thoughts in our heads at the same time. But now, we're architects. We are no longer limited by our biological memory. Our new job is to design the collisions between ideas, to harvest the best of history and run it through the assembly line of the future. And that is the ultimate takeaway. The era of waiting for some magical spark to just fall out of the sky is over. The machinery is here. The factory is open. It's time to begin the work of manufacturing insight. If you're ready to stop just searching and start synthesizing, subscribe to start building your own creativity factory. Help us find other innovators by sharing this explainer with one friend. You know, the one who's always drowning in tabs. Join the NotebookLM lovers community and let's build the future of knowledge together.